Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you another protein packed snack that's super versatile. Not only can you have it just alone as a snack, but you can also top it on your upcoming favorite cozy fall drinks. Let's go. Today I'm going to show you how to make marshmallows using egg whites and gelatin. This is not only going to be super healing for your gut, but also packed with protein. Starting off with 8 egg whites, we're going to whip them up until we see stiff peaks forming. I really love this recipe because I almost always have so many egg whites in my fridge at one time, so this is a really good way to use them up. So now, after whipping for a while, you can see that they're getting a different consistency and they're able to stand up on their own. We've reached stiff peaks. Now we're going to be adding some marshmallow root powder. If you didn't know, marshmallow is actually an herb, and what we're using is the root of the plant. This herb is super hydrating for your skin and hair, and it's also really healing to your gut lining and your digestive tract. This herb is very similar to okra in that it creates that gel-like consistency when you put it in water, and this is what they use to make the original marshmallows. Now we're moving on to putting 1/4 cup of water into a saucepan, and then we're going to bloom our gelatin. And blooming gelatin just means that you are going to sprinkle it very lightly. This is very important so you don't get clumps in it. You're going to sprinkle it over that water and just let it completely absorb and hydrate. So just like the egg whites, gelatin is super rich in protein, and this is going to be something that we can grab that's going to help sustain our energy throughout the day. Not only is gelatin super high in protein, but it's really beneficial to your skin, hair, joints, and bone health. It's also going to improve nutrient absorption and increase your digestive health. After you've bloomed your gelatin, you're going to add 1/2 cup of maple syrup. I'm using plain maple syrup this time, but in the past I've used a bourbon infused maple syrup. I think I got it at Costco and it was absolutely delicious. So marshmallows from the store usually use corn syrup or something of that matter. Maple syrup has so many nutrients and vitamins in it. This is actually a good sweetener to use. But if you would like to instead, you can use honey. I would refrain from using just granule sugar because I don't know how the consistency would turn out if you use something that was dried. So the next step is to put this saucepan on a medium-low heat, and once it has melted, you're ready to combine everything. So taking the egg whites and the marshmallow root powder mixture, we're going to add the gelatin and maple syrup mixture, and I am super vigorously mixing this because you want to make sure it's all incorporated before anything starts setting. After everything is combined, you're going to take a baking dish and add the mixture to that. I never put anything in the bottom of it. I see some people using coconut oil or like a arrowroot powder kind of thing so that it doesn't stick. But I found that any sort of gelatin-based recipe that I'm making, it usually doesn't stick to glass or silicone or anything like that, so I don't even bother. But of course, if you want extra insurance, then go ahead and put something down before you put your mixture in. So we're gonna put this in the fridge for it to set up. I came back to it a little earlier than I would have liked. I usually like to wait about like an overnight amount of time, but my daughter was begging me for one, so I cut into it a little bit early and gave her a piece. So I'm actually just now realizing that I forgot an ingredient. It was a splash of vanilla in the recipe. You would add this to that gelatin and maple syrup mixture. It was delicious either way, but to add a little bit more flavor, definitely add that vanilla. And if you do homemade vanilla extract, you can actually, instead of using vodka, you can use like a bourbon or something. And I'm just thinking using bourbon vanilla extract and that bourbon infused maple syrup would be so good. Let me know down in the comments if that sounds like something you would want to try. So we ended up eating a little section of the marshmallows that night, but the next morning I came back to it. It had set in the fridge overnight and it was a little bit more dense and set up, and I just cut it into little squares and that was it. This is the consistency that it turns out to be. They were so delicious. I love having these in the fridge for those really busy mornings where you just want to grab something quick for you or the kids or whoever and have a little extra protein before you start your day. And remember, we think of marshmallows as a junk food, but these are chock full of health benefits. So enjoy, and thank you so much for watching.